Alcohol is the mainstay of Uganda's culture. It lubricates all manner of social interactions, from the celebration of the birth of a child, to the naming of the child, to weddings where it is often presented as a gift to the bride's family, even at funerals where the heir to the deceased is indulged. Alcohol is ever present throughout the life of an ordinary Ugandan. It is therefore no surprise that alcohol consumption is high countrywide. A 2014 report by the World Health Organization measured the total alcohol consumed annually by each individual aged 15 years and over at 9.9 liters, which is higher than the average of 6 liters common in the rest of Africa. The consequences of high alcohol consumption, such as road traffic accidents, are well documented. For instance, the annual Crime and Road Safety Report 2013 found that 1 in every 100 traffic accidents on Ugandan roads were attributed to the influence of alcohol. The human cost of high alcohol consumption also takes into account dependency, also known as alcoholism, and health disorders such as depression and liver diseases caused by alcohol abuse. In 2014, the World Health Organization reported that on average, 1 in 100 Africans over the age of 15 are dependent on alcohol, though this increases to 1 in 50 in Uganda. Worryingly, 1 in 20 Ugandans is burdened with health complications from alcohol abuse, compared to 3 in 100 in the rest of Africa.
I'm here in Butabika Hospital seeking medical attention and, different types of therapy in order to overcome this addiction, which is alcohol.
For the last 7 years, 26-year-old Simon Kalanzi has been struggling with an addiction to alcohol.
I started using alcohol, and the year was about 2005 for casual purposes. All I wanted to do was relax my mind and have fun, and I believe a teenager always gets caught up in this kind of thing when you're trying to discover new things. Alcohol happened to be one of them. You see, media adverts always had these posters of don't drink until you're 18 and above. So I said, fine. I waited till I was 18. Then I started drinking.
What began as an experiment soon developed into a habit. But teenagers experimenting with alcohol is common. So why is it that some move on while others like Simon can't? Kenneth Akiki, an occupational therapist at Butabika National Referral Hospital, explains.
Some drink because of stress, okay? Some drink because of problems. Like some start drinking or abusing substances because of the peer pressure from the fellow friends, like especially the youth. Okay, then some drink like students because they want to read hard, to want to spend the whole night reading, especially at schools. Okay, some drink because of low self-esteem, because there are those who have low self-esteem, so they use alcohol to elevate, themselves. Okay, so some drink because it is genetical. Okay, because addiction, it can be in the family. Sometimes it runs in the what? It runs in the family. So some drink because some start drinking, they become addicts because just one thing like drinking for a day or 2 days or for a small period of time, it triggers the illness, of addiction.
In treating alcoholism with the hope of reversing it, the causes of the habit must be identified. In Simon's case, the environment at home may offer some clues.
Yeah, my dad actually used to consume this alcohol. And I think that's, I got actually quite influenced by it, though I did not start it from that point. I didn't really understand what the, future effects would be. All I would see was bottles all around, in the fridge and all that. But I would take a look at the bottles and I'm like, I would like to drink that one day. But that's where it stopped because I didn't do that until I was 18. But I got the idea.
Simon quickly came to depend on alcohol, which took a toll on him and his family. The fact that no one knew the full extent of his problems compounded things. Simon's cousin Mirembe recounts how his habit took its toll on Simon and the family, a fact that Simon admittedly was oblivious to.
When he's himself, he has very deep, interesting conversations. He also has a heart for humanity. He's a kind of person who can tell you he could give all his money to someone on the street just so she can feed her kids and walk home. He's extremely kind. Maybe point out on how you see this person turn into someone so different, yet they could be so much more. You see him change into violence. You see him change into no dreams at all. You see him changing to tell you, into him saying, there's no hope for me. Deal with this. This is who I am. It really breaks your heart.
So I would come back home any time of day or night, be it 2 in the morning, any given time. Of course, by the time somebody returns home at 2 to 3 in the morning, chances are high that person is not a visitor. That's probably a burglar of some sort. So this really shocked the people at the house, and it was so hard on them. But I didn't feel any remorse or anything because I always got my satisfaction from a night of drinking.
Crucial to reversing the effects of a destructive habit like alcoholism is identifying it in its early stages and seeking help. What made this difficult in Simon's case was that he was discreet. However, even if there are signs of a problem, it helps to know how to read them.
Look at some of the signs of someone who is an addict. One, it is drinking or using those substances every day, maybe thrice or maybe more than maybe like 4 times in a week. Then 2, experiencing what we call the withdrawal symptoms when he doesn't drink, or when he stops drinking, or he reduces on the amount of alcohol or substances he takes every day. Okay, some of the withdrawals, it is reduced sleep, or maybe what we call late insomnia. Then some experience hallucinations like hearing voices. Then some experience visual hallucinations, that is seeing some animals, seeing some, the dead bodies, some strange things. Okay. Then even there is the reduced appetite for food. You find someone, is not having appetite for what? For food. The only appetite he's having it is for drinking. Then others experience, constipation, depending on the kind of drug he has been using. Others experience diarrhea. Then others experience headache. Others experience, tremors, that is body shaking. Then most of them, they experience, the urge to drink, what we call the craving. Okay? Those are what we call the withdrawal symptoms.
As his habit got out of hand, Simon could not conceal it any longer. By then, he was well on his way to being a menace to society.
Set me away from the house, and thankfully my dad let me move in with him at the time. And I think that was just cause and effect. I messed up, they threw me out. Yes, I went to stay with my dad for some moments, a few months, but I didn't yet, let go of my addiction. I still went ahead with it. I thought things would change, they did not. To a point that my dad was so fed up with me, and so many sequences of unfortunities happened. I forgot what happened because I know I had really drunk so much. I went to the house. I was told that I broke a window and, insulted a few people. And that's when they called in the police. Things became rowdy. Then they took me in. All I remember was waking up in the police, detention center. Yeah, following that altercation.
Not long after his brush with the law, Simon was admitted to Butabika Hospital for treatment. This was the first of 4 admissions to the hospital to treat his condition because the habit had proved difficult to overcome. Yet with the help of the therapists at Butabika Hospital and the support of his family, there is hope.
I cannot earn trust in a single day, not even a month or year. I have to earn the respect and trust. I have to, go back to the drawing board, be a real citizen that understands what integrity is all about and responsibility.
It sort of broke the family, not in relationally, but when it comes to this topic, you don't know where to begin. So you just have to stand your ground and say, okay, I'm on Simon's side, I have decided that I want him better, and I'm going to, as long as he's still alive, there's hope for him. He can change. He just has to believe it, and he won't believe it if we don't believe it.
Tragically, Simon's story is a familiar one, for there are many families struggling with the effects of alcoholism. Given the fact that Butabika is the only national hospital of its kind in a country of 36 million people, it is simply not possible for the hospital to take care of everyone. Given this reality, perhaps more can be done to prevent Simon's story from repeating itself. As Simon tells it, alcohol is too easily available.
And with the introduction of these sachet, types of alcohol, it became so much easier to purchase and consume.
Well, where were you buying them?
I was buying this alcohol from any given shops, retails, supermarkets, anywhere you go. Alcohol is so accessible in this country. All I had to do was buy 1 or 2 sachets or even more. Since I didn't really have a job, I had to maximize on the money that I had. And of course, this alcohol, which is sold so cheaply, can make a good, let's say, what's that word again? I don't really have to buy expensive alcohol in order to get drunk. All I had to do was buy these sachets, so that one would really work. Plus, I would just pocket it, for, drink once in a while. I didn't really have anything stopping me, basically. It was so portable. That's the word I was looking for.
The fact that Simon would get drunk with only 500 shillings is testament to how affordable alcohol in Uganda is, which may help explain why the rate of consumption is high. It is a view shared by Aru County MP Odonga Otto, who is proposing a new law to regulate the consumption of alcohol, which he fears is at a dangerously high level. Included in this proposal is for all alcohol branding to carry information about the dangers of alcohol, an idea he compares to the cigarette branding, as well as advocating for a ban on sachets so that all liquor is sold in bottles and altogether increasing the prices.
We are targeting a situation where all the producers of sachets would be prohibited immediately, and they will be required to produce their alcohol content in glass bottles. This would, of course, make the cost of alcohol go high. Alcohol is not a basic need. But besides the issue of portability, other than someone putting it in a jacket, we don't want to make it easily portable. It's not easy to carry a glass bottle.
Were this law to pass, it would be the responsibility of bodies such as Uganda National Bureau of Standards, whose head of marketing surveillance, Vincent Ocho, has expressed support for such proposals.
Even for us, we are also parents, we are also consumers. We would like to have this, the problem with sachets, of course, the quantity is small, the volume is small, it can easily be carried. And so would we actually encourage that maybe we have a minimum volume, which even that minimum volume should be packaged in a container which cannot easily be dispensed. There are many players in the field, and maybe the economics also at play. Okay. But of course, for safety of people, me as a person, I would support the ban of sachets because I think they cause more harm than good. Me as a person, but as a body, we need to have discussions with other stakeholders so that we can come on an agreement. But I remember there was a time when those proposals were on board, and I think the stakeholders didn't agree. But I think that is a good proposal which can be taken forward, and we'll have a way forward on that. Alcohol goes in between health and trade. Huh? So if there's anything to come, the ministries must agree, the Minister of Trade and the Minister of Health. You have to weigh on those things. But of course, the government has to come up with, if there's anything to do with the streamlining of the industry, it's government to come up with a policy on that.
In the absence of government intervention, it is left to the families to deal with the effects of alcoholism. However, as the case of Simon Kalanzi demonstrates, support of families can be decisive.
To exist like a man, like a grown-up. So gradually give him more and more responsibility, but beyond that, just always reminding him that he is loved, that we believe in him, that he can do this, that he can get better and stay better. Because he has gotten better before, but the staying better part has been, you could say, the challenge. So the support group just always being on the support side for him, just saying, Simon, we're cheering for you, we're believing in you, you know, encouraging the little times when you see him, that sort of like emphasizing the times when you see him on the good side, reminding him that who he is and what he can do.